I don't
I
know
text
why.
you all the time. I said, I must have done something in another life or in this life that I can't remember because I am being punished in real time. All right, so today's topic is nothing works. So we spell it Nuthin. Nothing works.
Nothing.
Nothing. When we text each other, the first thing is nothing. Nothing works. In this umbrella of nothing works, also the frustrations around lack of follow through or a process that's broken or something that's not working, essentially. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's very fair.
People tell me I have a very short fuse. I don't have a lot of patience, and the small things shouldn't bother me. But my perspective is there are so many small things that break down over the course of a day that it adds up to a lot for me to handle. And I have a very low tolerance for this. So I'll give an example.
Mhm.
I go on TV once a month to do my baking show, right? So after the COVID restrictions and quarantine where I couldn't be in the studio, I was finally able to get back to the studio. So I get very worked up and nervous when I'm going on into the studio. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of prep work. And I take it very seriously, even though I'm only on for about 10 minutes. So I'm leaving, and for some reason, there's an enormous amount of construction around me, an enormous amount of construction. So everywhere I go, there's a detour. So the minute I come out of my street, I take a right detour. I can't get anywhere. So I have to take the detour. When I'm on the detour, that has a detour. So not only am I being detoured at the beginning, I take the detour has a detour because the road's closed just a couple hundred feet up. So I take that detour, and there's another detour because there's more construction. So I take that detour. So it took me like what's normally a 5-minute drive to get to the expressway, 20 minutes. So now I'm getting worked up because I want to be in the studio on time. So then I'm entering the highway, and all it says on the highway is road work. Well, okay, fine. So there's more road work coming up. It doesn't say that every exit on this highway is closed. So I get on the highway. I need to get off at like the 4th exit to go to the studio. Every exit closed, 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 closed. No sign saying that there's no exits closed, seek alternate route. So I'm on this road. I'm already worried I'm not going to get there on time. And closed, 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 closed. It's like day in and day out, I'm running across these types of situations. What about you?
Right, and that is just one to start your day. I mean,
Right.
we can really rack them up. We can tally like multiple ones. I mean, I have so many. I'm just going to try to narrow them down.
Sure.
There's a restaurant we do takeout at all the time. It's gonna remain nameless. It rhymes with Katerna. It remain nameless. Well, there's 3 of us here. We don't like really edit our meals. We usually just, I mean, we might have a little tweak here and there, like hold the cheese on that or whatever. Never, I'm 0 for like 50. Never gets it right.
Never right.
Ever.
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 I don't know what's happening. I mean, this is insane.
Oh, no, and let me follow this up with, it's not just delivery, it's pickup. I physically walked into the restaurant. I ordered right in front of the person, although she wasn't on her phone half the time. I'm just saying she might have been distracted. And then I'm like, I'm not falling for this anymore. I'm checking. I'm pulling things out of the bag to check to make sure I'm cross-referencing because I don't trust.
Absolutely. And it's wrong.
It was wrong yesterday. Face to face, in person, wrong.
And I'm sure the person was like dumbfounded, probably didn't know what you were talking about.
Had absolutely no idea.
I mean, I got on an airplane, and this was several years ago, and we're going to talk about in a different episode. I had a fear of flying, and it's still a little bit with me, but not like it was. So it was one of the first flights I had taken alone, in quite some time prior to that. It was several years ago. I get on the plane, and I get to my seat, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking to myself, my eyes have got to be deceiving me, because there's duct tape holding this thing together. It's duct tape inside the cabin holding the seams of the cabin together. And I'm thinking to myself, this is so interesting. And someone came on the plane, my seatmate came on, and he looks down and he says, are you serious? There's like duct tape here. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what is going on? Why would a plane have duct tape in it? And why do people think that that's okay?
It's a very reasonable question. I feel like every time I turn the TV on, trains are running off tracks or smashing into trains in front of them.
Yes. It's
no, I mean, like derailment.
Yes.
Derailment.
Have you looked at the trains? You sent me a link, or I sent you a link. So we live in Massachusetts, so our subway, I don't even know if they really technically call it that, because it goes underground and above ground. The T, they call it. What a dump. I mean, the thing is a dilapidated mess. There was a link on Twitter that they have to run buses now because one of the red line is falling apart. And I sent you a picture of the train. I'm like, the train looks like it's, I mean, I don't know how it runs. If you saw this train, it looks like it's been in multiple accidents. It's probably been derailed 5 or 6 times in the last year. They can't run it, and now they're running buses back and forth that they can't get bus drivers for, because the bus drivers are all like giving up on everything. It's unbelievable.
So the workaround is the buses, but we can't even we're calling the National Guard in.
Yes, we are.
To get our kids to school. So we've got some issues and problems.
We absolutely have some problems.
I hear my apologies. If I don't hear it 10 times a day, I hear it once a day. Why does my apologies? It gives you a pass.
It gives you a pass. Everything.
Oh, my apologies.
My apologies. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I left you hanging for 4 weeks. My apologies.
It cleans the slate. It cleans the slate.
I refuse to say it unless I'm being facetious, or like unless I'm purposely trying to like make myself laugh. I don't use it because it's the most insincere phrase, but so that's the other thing. We're giving everybody a pass, right? Everyone gets a pass. So bad behavior, bad infrastructure, bad timing on bad behavior. Everyone's getting a pass with the "my apologies" headline.
Rampant. And across the board, every industry, actually, I step out my door and I'm already hearing my apologies. I haven't even gone anywhere. And yeah, it's my apologies.
It's like in the universe, right? Singing to us, my apologies, my apologies.
The universe is singing. Nothing works.
Nothing. Have you had these people? Have you ever pulled up to the ATM? I live my life by the ATM. If I need cash, I haven't been in a bank in, I'm almost 50, 48 years. I haven't been in a bank. So, does this happen to you? You drive up to the ATM. First of all, it's very funny. Like, so I have this, like when I'm driving, I have this ATM that I like to go to, and I see it, it's in shot. No one's there. I'm like, oh, this is great. It's a drive-up ATM. Like, this is fantastic. Nobody's there, but I catch the red light. So I'm waiting and I'm watching the ATM and I'm watching. Oh, sure enough, 1, 2, 3 cars bolt into the driveway, into the ATM, and bam, I'm now behind 3 cars. And all 3 of them seem like they've never seen an ATM in their life.
Oh yeah, you're in the queue for at least 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Does that happen to you?
It's probably worthwhile just to unless you're sandwiched in, you just put it in reverse if there's no one behind you and start over.
Oh, I do. If because my experience is such that somebody's like so close to it with their eyes because they don't know what they're doing. Like they can't remember like what is this machine? Like I don't know what this is. And then like they're making mistakes and then they're constantly, and so I just, if there's more than one car, I'm gone. I'd rather pay a fee somewhere else.
Oh,
And you,
no,
yeah.
I can relate to that. I mean, I can, especially if it like, I'm gonna compare it to the supermarket now because they all have self-checkout.
Mhm.
Oh, good luck with that. Good luck with trying to get your 3 items in self-checkout if you've not already cleared the line. You're behind somebody. The bell's ringing. Assistance is coming. Assistance is coming. Assistance isn't coming.
It's gonna be like 15 minutes.
Oh, easily for your like 12 items or less. I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? And they're sitting there, right? It's just kind of like, all right, like they've never done a self-checkout before. There's a barcode on every item. Whoop. It's an assembly line. Whoop. Whoop. Then at the very end, they'd ask you for coupons. Again, you take the coupon, make sure it's not expired. Whoop. You get your discount. You hit finish and pay. I'm out of there.
Right.
I'm out of there.
You're out of there.
The general population isn't out of there.
What do you think half of them are doing? They're trying to scan coupons that have expired, right? So it's like scan and flashing lights. And then they act like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know my 25 cents off of yogurt was expired. I would never try to game the system. Oh, I would never do that. But that's exactly what they're doing.
And with our luck, we're always behind that person.
Always. And then you have a story real quick about your car, right? So you have to drive your car. Yeah. You went to go get it inspected and it's brand new and it like failed because you have to drive it around.
Every year. And I block it out because it's so unfathomable to me. Like, I can't accept it. I go into denial mode because it's a nice car.
Yeah.
It's new. And I go, and it says, oh, we're sorry, it didn't pass inspection. You have to drive it around for like, it's got to heat up. The engine has to heat up or it gets a failure. And I'm like, so who's the idiot here? I'm driving around, I'm going up and down. I'm like, what is there an outlet that I can drive to that I haven't been to? And I'm trying to figure out who can I go and visit to get my car inspected, even though it's a brand new car. It makes absolutely no sense. And then, no, not a bone of sense. And then I'm told, so after I go through that whole thing, I have a very old license plate. You can still see it. It's like one of those green. I know everyone in Massachusetts has like the Cape Cod ones and then the whales, and it's like red, white, and blue. And I'm like old school. So I still have
So it's all green?
It's all green.
That's hilarious. That is old school.
That's old school. They're not allowing this anymore because what happens if you go on the Mass Pike and they can't, so it's faded. Could I still see the numbers? Yes, absolutely. But it's faded. So they say to me, if you come back here next year, I'm going to have to fail you unless you get a new license plate because it's so faded out. So now what in my future, I have to go to the registry of motor vehicles. What good is going to come from that? You think nothing works? Wait till I share that experience with you.
Oh my, that's like the to be continued of the season finale of your favorite show, and you can't wait for it to happen. Like, I can't wait for this to happen because I want to hear the story.